Every individual enters this world not by chance, but by cause. Your birth date is not simply a number, it is an energetic imprint, a cosmic signature that carries the echoes of past actions, thoughts, and decisions, what we call karma. Karma is not punishment, nor is it reward. Karma is balance, a universal response to everything we have done, said, or thought. When you were born, the universe whispered, "This soul is ready," ready to experience the consequences of previous lifetimes, ready to learn, to grow, to overcome, and to rise. Your birth date aligns you with specific energetic lessons, some rooted in strength, others in struggle, but all are meant to awaken you. You are not a victim of fate. You are the continuation of energy that once moved through other times and bodies, and now it moves through you. The question is, will you become aware of this movement, or will you continue unconsciously repeating cycles? To understand your birth is to understand the task you were born for. This knowledge does not limit you. It liberates you, because karma is not only about what was, it is also about what can be. The future is not written. It is carved through your consciousness and actions. When you awaken to the deeper meaning behind your existence, your birth becomes more than just a date. It becomes your destiny, waiting for your participation. The moment you were born is not a coincidence. It is not the result of mere biology or calendar timing. It is a spiritually encoded moment chosen by a greater intelligence that governs the laws of cause and effect. Your birth date acts like a spiritual fingerprint, holding within it the accumulated intentions, experiences, and energies of your previous actions, your karma. Just as nature follows seasons and cycles, your soul follows a rhythm set by universal law, and that rhythm brings you into existence at a time that perfectly matches the inner work your soul must undertake. This means your birth is not just a beginning, it's a continuation of an ancient journey that spans many lifetimes. The day, month, and even the time you were born are symbolic markers. They connect you to universal forces, planetary alignments, energy flows, and elemental combinations that mirror your karmic tendencies. Some people carry the karma of leaders meant to guide others. Others carry the karma of healers meant to transmute pain into peace. These qualities are not randomly assigned. They are inherited from choices made, often long before this life. When you begin to study your birth date, not just numerologically, but spiritually, you open a map. A map that reveals patterns, why certain challenges always return, why certain relationships feel familiar, why some gifts come easily while others require deep struggle. The date of your birth tells you what type of energy your soul came to master in this lifetime. It reveals your karmic starting point, not to label you or box you in, but to give you clarity. This knowledge allows you to make sense of the seemingly unexplainable aspects of your personality and life journey. It transforms confusion into insight and randomness into purpose. It's the foundation for deeper awareness, a mirror through which you begin to remember that you are not here by accident. You are here with intention. One of the greatest misconceptions about karma is that it is some form of punishment handed down by the universe for our wrongdoings. But this is a misunderstanding rooted in fear and guilt, not wisdom. Karma is not a system of reward and punishment. It is a neutral law of cause and effect, much like gravity. It simply reflects the energy you put out into the world, returning it in a form that teaches, balances, or redirects you. Every thought, word, and action you've ever taken creates a ripple, an energetic vibration that travels through space and time. These vibrations do not disappear. They imprint themselves into the flow of existence, and eventually what you send out must come back to you, not as a moral judgment, but as a natural reaction, a reflection of what you've put into motion. If you plant seeds of compassion, you will grow connections that nourish your spirit. If you act from fear or anger, The world around you mirrors that turbulence back to you. Karma doesn't ask whether something is good or bad in the way humans do. It simply reflects truth. It teaches us through experience. If we create pain for others, we will at some point feel that pain in return, not because the universe is cruel, but because it is trying to awaken us to the impact of our actions. Karma is not a sentence. It is a mirror, constantly showing you what your soul still needs to learn and where you must take responsibility for your energy. It's also essential to understand that karma is not only shaped in dramatic moments or major life decisions. It is built in the subtle, daily choices, how you treat people, how you think about yourself, whether you act with integrity when no one is watching. These small choices accumulate into patterns, and those patterns shape the energetic reality you experience. A life of kindness generates a karmic field of peace. A life of blame and resistance attracts more of the same energy to you. And just because you don't see instant consequences doesn't mean karma is not active. Sometimes the return is delayed because the lesson requires a specific setting or time to be most impactful. Sometimes karma spans lifetimes. What you face today may be the result of actions from a past life you don't consciously remember, but your soul does. This is why self-awareness is vital. When you understand that every moment is a chance to create karmic momentum, you stop living reactively and begin living with clarity and purpose. Karma does not trap you. It is not a prison. It is the mechanism by which your soul learns, grows, and ultimately evolves. Your birth into this world was not a blank slate. You arrived carrying with you a deeper intention, an invisible syllabus created not by external forces, but by the needs of your own soul. You were born with karmic imprints, shaped by your past lives, thoughts, actions, and experiences. These imprints form the spiritual curriculum you must face in this lifetime. That curriculum is not chosen randomly. It is a continuation of your soul's evolution, tailored specifically to where you left off. This is why certain themes seem to repeat in your life. You may notice the same types of relationships forming and ending. Similar challenges showing up in different environments. Emotional patterns that persist no matter how much your external world changes. These recurring situations are not coincidences. They are spiritual signals, nudging you toward awareness, urging you to grow beyond your conditioned responses and unconscious habits. They represent unfinished business, not in a material sense, but in a spiritual one. Each soul carries its own karmic lesson plan. For some, the focus may be to overcome pride and cultivate humility. For others, it might be about learning forgiveness or mastering patience, or discovering the courage to speak truth. These lessons often manifest as painful experiences, because pain has the power to wake us up. Pain exposes the part of us that needs healing, the part of us still reacting out of fear, ego, or illusion. But if we meet these lessons with awareness, pain can become our greatest teacher. The people around you also play roles in this karmic classroom. Some souls enter your life to support your growth, while others challenge you in ways that feel harsh or unfair. But from a karmic perspective, even those who hurt you may be fulfilling a sacred contract, one that gives you the chance to respond with a higher level of consciousness. The lesson is not always to fight back or withdraw. Sometimes, the lesson is to understand, to release, to transcend. What makes these lessons even more profound is that they are deeply personal. No two souls have the exact same karmic blueprint. That is why comparing your path to someone else's is meaningless. Your struggles may not be their struggles. Your mission may not be their mission. Instead of asking why your life doesn't look like someone else's, ask what your unique difficulties are trying to teach you, because every situation you encounter is part of a larger design. an intricate weaving of past energy into present opportunity. Recognizing that you are here to learn specific lessons empowers you to stop resisting your journey and start participating in it consciously. Life stops feeling like something that's happening to you and begins to feel like something that's happening for you. The challenges no longer seem like punishment, but rather precise instructions sent by the universe to guide your inner development. And when you truly understand this, you become an active student of your own soul's evolution. Karma is always at work, silently shaping the events, relationships, and outcomes in our lives. But karma is not destiny. It is not a fixed road you are forced to walk without choice. The moment you become aware of your thoughts, intentions, and actions, you activate the most powerful tool you possess in your spiritual evolution, self-awareness. Awareness is not just observation. It is the light that allows you to see the patterns you've been living unconsciously, and the power that allows you to transform them. Most people live reactively, moving through life on autopilot. They repeat the same behaviors, attract the same challenges, and blame external forces for their internal discomfort. This is karmic sleep, moving through cycles without understanding the deeper meaning behind them. But when you pause and begin to question why certain events keep returning, why you feel triggered by specific situations, or why your peace keeps getting disturbed, you begin to wake up from that unconscious loop. Self-awareness allows you to see karma as a reflection rather than a punishment. It invites you to explore your emotional responses, habitual thoughts, and patterns of behavior not with judgment, but with curiosity and compassion. Why do you react with anger when challenged? Why do you shrink when it's time to speak your truth? These questions are not surface level. They are doorways into your karmic memory. The more honest you are in examining them, the more power you gain over the unseen forces that shape your life. With self-awareness, you stop projecting blame onto others and begin reclaiming your energy. You start recognizing that every experience, no matter how difficult, is showing you something about yourself. And once you see it, truly see it, you have the choice to respond differently. That moment of conscious choice is where karma begins to shift. The energy of the past loses its hold because the present is being shaped with intention rather than repetition. This shift doesn't require you to change your entire life overnight. It begins in the smallest of moments, the moment you choose to breathe rather than lash out, the moment you recognize your ego and decide to listen instead. The moment you let go of a resentment that has kept your soul heavy. These tiny conscious shifts create new karmic ripples rooted in awareness, healing, and alignment. Self-awareness is also the foundation of emotional maturity. When you understand your triggers and reactions, you no longer get pulled into unnecessary suffering. You learn to observe pain without becoming it. You learn to feel emotions without being consumed by them. In this space of inner clarity, you begin to rewrite your karmic narrative, not by force, but by presence. Karma becomes something you work with, not something you feel trapped under. And the more self-aware you become, the more you begin to access your higher self, the timeless observer beyond the noise of personality and ego. That part of you doesn't just see patterns, it sees purpose. It sees the lesson behind the challenge, the wisdom behind the wound, and the opportunity behind the obstacle. In the grand continuum of existence, you are not isolated. You are a vital link in an ongoing stream of consciousness, a living bridge that connects the karmic energies of the past with the infinite possibilities of the future. Your thoughts, choices, and behaviors do not arise in a vacuum. They are influenced by everything that came before: ancestral patterns, cultural conditioning, unresolved emotional wounds, and karmic imprints from your own previous lifetimes. But here's the profound truth: you are not just a product of the past. You are the architect of what comes next. Most people unknowingly carry the weight of both personal and collective karma. Traumas that began generations ago are passed down through actions, behaviors, and beliefs, recycled through families and societies until someone becomes aware enough to break the pattern. That someone can be you. You are the pivotal point. You are the meeting place of old stories and new choices, and in every moment you stand at a crossroads. Will you repeat the karmic cycles, or will you rewrite them? Being this bridge means taking responsibility. It means understanding that although you didn't consciously choose the circumstances you were born into, you now have the power to respond to them with awareness and intention. This is where true karmic liberation begins. You are not meant to carry the past like a burden on your shoulders. You are meant to transform it. Your journey becomes a sacred alchemy, turning inherited pain into healing, ignorance into insight, reaction into wisdom. Each conscious choice you make sends a ripple into the future. When you choose to forgive instead of hold on to anger, you clear energetic space, not only for yourself, but for those who will walk the path after you. When you break free from the limiting beliefs passed down to you, you liberate your children and their children from that unconscious inheritance. When you begin to understand your own patterns of fear, insecurity, or resistance, and then choose to act from love instead, you do more than just help yourself. You shift the direction of energy for your entire karmic lineage. And this applies not only to your family line, but also to your soul's journey across lifetimes. When you confront a pattern in this life, say abandonment or betrayal or jealousy, you are often resolving something your soul has faced many times before. Every effort you make toward healing creates momentum across time. It's like editing a repeating script your soul has carried from one life to the next. But this time, in this life, you have the opportunity to pause, become aware, and choose a new ending for that chapter. You are also the bridge between unconscious habit and conscious evolution. Your awareness brings light to behaviors that once happened automatically. It turns reaction into reflection. Instead of living out scripts you inherited, you begin writing your own. This transition from karma-driven behavior to intention-driven living is what gives your life its deepest spiritual power, because now you are not simply living out a story, you are authoring one. To be the bridge means to stand in the middle of all this energy, past and future, pain and healing, ignorance and awareness, and consciously decide which direction to lean into. Your birth date does more than just mark the beginning of your physical existence. It also holds energetic and symbolic significance tied to your Dharma, your sacred life purpose. While karma is the energy you bring with you, the consequences of past actions, Dharma is the direction you are meant to walk in this life. It is the work your soul came here to do, the contribution it is here to offer, and the higher path it is destined to follow if you live with alignment and awareness. Dharma is not just about career or external success. It's the inner calling that tugs at your spirit, often quietly but persistently. It is the expression of your truest self. And while karma explains why certain experiences happen to you, Dharma invites you to ask what you are here to bring to the world. Dharma is about service, growth, integrity, and alignment with your higher nature. Understanding your karmic patterns helps reveal the terrain, but understanding your Dharma shows you the direction. Your birth date, when studied deeply, holds patterns, astrological, numerological, and energetic, that hint at the qualities you've been given to fulfill your purpose. For example, a person born under specific vibrations may have natural tendencies toward leadership, healing, creativity, or teaching. These are not accidental, they are indicators of the roles your soul is equipped and intended to play. The traits you were born with, your intuition, your curiosity, your resilience are tools designed for your dharmic journey. However, many people ignore these inner signals. They chase external definitions of success and live by inherited expectations, only to feel empty or unfulfilled. This is the result of being out of sync with Dharma. When you are not living your truth, life feels like a constant struggle. But when you align with Dharma, even your challenges feel meaningful, and your actions carry a deep sense of peace and purpose. Dharma doesn't make life easier, but it makes it clearer. You know who you are. You know why you're here. Often, your Dharma and your karma are deeply intertwined. For instance, someone who experienced abandonment in the past may have the Dharma to guide others toward emotional healing and belonging. A person who has suffered injustice may feel an inner pull to create fairness or stand up for the voiceless. What once broke you becomes the very ground from which your purpose grows. In this way, your greatest pain is often the seed of your greatest offering. Discovering your Dharma requires deep inner work. It means paying attention to what energizes you, what breaks your heart, and what awakens your passion. It means noticing the moments when you feel most alive and in flow, when time disappears and your soul feels at home. These are not coincidences. They are signs pointing toward your purpose, and often they are reflected in the numerology or spiritual symbolism of your birth. Living in accordance with your Dharma is not about achieving something grand or visible to the world. It is about living authentically. It is about making daily choices that honor your inner truth and serving the world in a way that feels natural to your soul. Whether that means guiding others, building something meaningful, creating beauty, or simply embodying compassion in your interactions, your Dharma is your gift to the world and to yourself. Your birth date carries echoes of that Dharma. The universe did not place you here by accident. The timing of your arrival was precise, matching the energetic conditions needed for you to walk the exact path your soul intended. One of the most liberating truths about karma is that it is not fixed. It is not a life sentence or a punishment you are doomed to endure forever. While karma reflects the consequences of past thoughts and actions, it is also profoundly influenced by what you do right now. This very moment, this breath, this decision, each one contains the potential to shift your energy, redirect your path, and elevate your consciousness. You are never stuck unless you choose to remain unaware. The patterns in your life, whether emotional, relational, or behavioral, may feel deeply rooted, but they are not unchangeable. What keeps them alive is repetition. Every time you react in the same unconscious way, you strengthen the karmic imprint. But the moment you pause, become aware, and choose a different response, you interrupt the cycle. That interruption may feel small on the surface, but energetically it is massive. It signals to the universe that you are no longer willing to be driven by old programs. You are becoming a conscious creator of your destiny. Karmic cycles often repeat not because life is cruel, but because your soul hasn't yet learned the lesson hidden within the experience. When you start to see recurring challenges not as curses but as opportunities, you reclaim your power. Life is constantly offering you tests, not to hurt you, but to reveal how far you've come. Will you choose resentment again, or will you lean into forgiveness? Will you numb your pain, or will you sit with it and ask what it's here to teach you? These choices define your spiritual maturity. Each time you choose awareness over reaction, responsibility over blame, patience over frustration, compassion over judgment, you raise your vibration. You move closer to clarity, wisdom, and peace. And with every conscious act, you shift not only your own karma, but also the collective energy field around you. Your inner work ripples outward. Your growth becomes a contribution. You stop being part of the unconscious repetition of human suffering and start being part of the collective healing. It is important to understand that breaking karmic cycles does not always mean changing your external circumstances. It starts internally. Two people can face the same challenge, but one suffers while the other transforms. Why? Because transformation comes not from what happens to you, but from how you interpret it, how you respond, and what meaning you choose to extract from it. That is where evolution happens, not in the event itself, but in the energy you bring to it. Being human means you will continue to be tested. Life will continue to bring lessons, but the goal is not perfection. It is progress. Each step toward greater awareness is a step away from unconscious karma. Every moment you practice mindfulness, gratitude, and compassion, even in the face of difficulty, is a moment of karmic elevation. You rise not by escaping pain, but by meeting it with consciousness. You ascend not by rejecting your past, but by honoring it as the soil from which your wisdom grows. So, what does your birth date really reveal? It reveals that you are more than a body born on a certain day. You are a soul on a sacred journey, carrying the weight of past energies and holding the potential to shape the future with every conscious breath you take. Your karma is not here to punish you. It is here to guide you. Your Dharma is not hidden from you. It is encoded within you, waiting to be remembered. When you begin to walk through life with awareness of your karmic roots and your dharmic path, you stop merely existing and start awakening. You begin to see life not as a series of random events, but as a carefully crafted journey of evolution, one in which you are both the student and the creator. You are the bridge, you are the light, you are the moment where the past transforms into power and the future opens with purpose. Awaken to that truth and live it.